Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. We're here in 2.1 and I'm here to bring you guys the all Seirai Island Electroculus locations. Now, quickly to go into the map, I didn't do this in the Watatsumi Island and I do apologize for that, but here is the map if you want to jot down where all the Electroculuses are. It's mainly the star markers that are the actual Electroculus, so there's a bunch around here. Pause the video if you want to take a little bit of a time marking them all down. There's about 4 here in the middle. The rest is kind of obvious where it is. And I'll be starting from the top islands here, going all around the border, and then finally I will jump into the middle part here, the Amakumo Peak, sorry. I'll jump into this area last, mainly because it's pretty confusing when you go there. But with all that being said and done, let's jump into the Electroculus on Seirai Island. We're starting here at the top. And starting off with the first Electroculus, we're over here at the northwesternmost part of Seirai Island, over by this Wave Rider and Waypoint, sorry. And what you want to do when you get here, you'll see this little gate here and a Wave Rider point, and you'll see a challenge here. Now, you're going to want to take this challenge and then take a Wave Rider, summon your boat, and then take that along with the challenge and complete it. You'll have to blow up a bunch of barrels, some ice barrels. Just take your Wave Rider and do it, and you'll be taken over to this little small island in the ocean over there. And once you get there and complete the challenge, the portal will open up and you'll be able to travel between here, this portal, and the portal on that island. And if you're looking closely enough, the Electroculus is actually floating in the middle of the water, and you need to take this portal to the Electroculus because it will take you through it. So if you just do that like that, you'll be able to then pick up the Electroculus, jump out of it if you want, or if you don't want to, don't jump out of it. But that is the first Electroculus. And for the next 3, so for the second, third, and fourth Electroculus, we're coming over here to this little wreck down boat on this northwestern island here. We're looking for the, I can't really see the word, but Serra something Maru. We're going towards this boat. And you want to come over to the front of the boat where you see these wheels that you can spin when you interact them. Now what you want to do with these, you want to turn these in a way that it makes a square, or a rectangle, sorry, with the parts that stick out slightly. So as you can see, there's a little L shape here, there's a backwards L shape here, over here there's a little kind of corner piece, and over here you want to make it so it makes a rectangle. It looks just like this pretty much. Once you do that, you'll be given a little cinematic of a gate or a door being blasted open down here, and you'll be able to go inside the boat. When you get inside the boat, the second Electroculus that you'll see, or the first one in this case, but second overall, will be in this little chandelier. You just want to jump up and pick it up like that. And also, when you get into this whole area, you'll be given these little floor panels that you have to light up. Now, this is one of those situations where I don't have the video to, show you exactly how to do it, but you have to light up these panels in a certain order to proceed to the next room. And after you've lit up all the panels in the correct order, which you can do on repeat, honestly, it's just a bit of trial and error, behind me, behind this little pillar here, this little floor will blast open and you'll be greeted with another one of these puzzles. Now you just want to do all these puzzles just to get them all done and dusted. Once you've gotten all the puzzles done, you want to go back up to the top layer and you'll find this Sealy here. Now this Sealy, I've already done it, but I will just follow its pathing again, but it pretty much goes along the ship a lot. It goes in many different places, but you just want to follow this Sealy through many doors and many crevices and wherever the Sealy goes. And I'll just put this part in a time lapse just so you guys actually see what I do with the Sealy, but just so I don't have to walk slowly throughout the whole boat. So I'll just go into a little time lapse here. Now, when you guys get here for the first time, this door will be locked and you won't be able to get past because you need I think it's called an intact key. To get that key, you just want to stay on the same floor and come over to this hole in the ground right where there's a bit of a rock here that's breaking through the ship floorboards. There'll be a chest in the ground here. It's kind of hard to see, but it's right here in this hole. You interact with it and you'll get that intact key. And then you can open this door, come through here, and follow. There will be a luxurious chest, I presume. I'm pretty sure that you have to do, again, this little kind of square making thing with the cogwheels, or I don't know what the sailor term is. But you keep on coming up the stairs and the Electroculus will be right here up this ladder where the Sealy is. And now obviously if you keep on following the Sealy out, you'll be able to socket it into this thing, which will give you yet another chest. And now for the fourth Electroculus, where you're going to want to go is, again, on this ship. thought I'd just cover all 3 of these very quickly. You're going to want to come and climb up this big old wooden beam, pole, post, starboard bow, whatever it's called in the sailor terms. This is quite a tedious process, climbing up one of these bad boys, but it's just at the tip there, so I'll put this in a bit of a time lapse to speed it up. And there you have it. That is the... Oh, I almost fell off. And yeah, okay. Oh, please jump, Zhongli, jump, please. And there you have it. That is the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th Electroculus. All 3 that you can find in this boat. Now, for these next 3, we're coming down to a Seirai Shrine. So the first one is here right next to the waypoint, pretty much to the entrance of the island. You've got it here on this little archway. You just want to glide down from this little cliff and you'll be able to easily pick up the 5th Electroculus. For the second one here, you want to jump up to the top of this tree, the main big tree that you can see in the middle of the island. You're going to want to climb into it from the top, and jumping down into the middle, you'll be able to get the 6th Electroculus. And jumping over to the southeastern side of the island, you'll be able to jump off this little cliff and you'll see a breakable wall here. If you just do a bit of a plunging attack with any character, you'll be able to break it very easily and you'll get the 7th Electroculus. Now, for the easiest Electroculus, you want to just travel over to the Statue of the Seven on Seirai Island and just follow the edge of the cliff here, just staying on top of the cliff. And once you see pretty much either that little peak or this little corner or that little stone pylon, you want to take a right and you'll find the 8th Electroculus right here in between 2 bits of a broken bridge. And this is the easiest Electroculus that we'll be getting. For the 9th Electroculus, we're staying right here in Koseki village, and when you enter this village, you'll be given a little quest to go save a person who is being attacked by some monsters. Now, you'll have to do the starting bit of that quest to unlock the area to get where this Electroculus is. So once you talk to that NPC who is over there somewhere, they'll tell you to come over here. Then you'll talk to them one more time and they'll tell you to pull this switch to then these puzzles will be activated right here on the ground. And this is the first introduction to this puzzle. Once you've solved the little puzzle of just stepping on these platforms in some way, this little floorboard will blast open and you'll be able to jump down. Now, for the quest, you'll have to complete more of this puzzle here. But if you're just looking for the Electroculus, it's over here in this corner, right there. And that is the 9th Electroculus. And now for the 10th Electroculus, you're going to come right above the word village in Koseki village to this little marker right here on the shoreline. And you're going to interact with the Electrogranum here, which will then spawn some of these tethers. Now you just get a tether all the way up until you grab the 10th Electroculus. And now for the 11th Electroculus, it's located right here where I've selected my marker. But we're actually going to start in our position over here where my player marker is. Now to get here, just obviously go down to this waypoint and travel to the peak of this cliff. The landmark that we're right next to is this gate. Now the reason we want to do this is because the Electroculus is super high in the air and this portal is pretty much the only thing that can get you there. So you just want to interact with the portal and just let it take you to the Electroculus. Don't really touch anything. As you can see, it's started to appear into our render view. And we're just going to slowly get to it right here. And obviously when you get to it, you can just jump out, and that is the 11th Electroculus. Now, from the same starting point as the previous Electroculus, we're gonna take this portal here. As we can see, it's floating right there. Now, if you have a mobility character, something like a Zhao, Kazuha, Venti, or even if you have Geo Traveler, you can try jumping from the built-up pylon. You can attempt that, but the method that I'm gonna show you guys is you're gonna go through this portal. If it lets you take, okay, you gotta go through this portal. And then at about the peak, you're going to jump out with spacebar, and then you're slowly going to glide over here towards the 12th Electroculus. And now for the 13th Electroculus, you want to get to this part of the map where my character is. I don't really know how to describe it, but for some landmarks, you got to look for this little challenge, the time challenge, or an Electrogranum. And you just gotta also look for those rocks here and a little crack in the ground. Now this is not the intended way to get to it, but it's also pretty easy. So you just gotta look for this crack in the ground, and as you pop into the crack, you'll see a little tree stump here with an Electroculus right in there. So you just gotta climb the tree stump and pick up the 13th Electroculus. And now for the 14th Electroculus, you're going to stay here on the top of this cliff, pretty much right next to the waypoint, which is right there. And you're going to go to the eastern side of the cliff until you see a little Electrogranum on the very ledge of a little kind of point. You're going to drop down and interact with it and just spam the T button or whatever button it is for you to use the little grapple points all the way into the sky and pick up the 14th or 13th Electroculus, I forgot the number. And right from that Electrogranum that we used in the previous Electroculus, we're going to just jump towards the beach over here. And if your eyes are on the screen, I guess, you'll see the 15th Electroculus hidden in this tree. And there you have it, that's the 15th Electroculus. And now for the 16th Electroculus, we're jumping over to Fort Haraumi over on this like northwestern island here. And this is also a very easy one. So when you get to the waypoint, you're just going to want to travel over towards these wooden platforms. And underneath this one that's alongside the cliff ledge, underneath it will be the 16th Electroculus. And now for the 17th Electroculus, you're going to want to come down to this waypoint right here. It's the closest point to it, and right where this marker is where the Electroculus actually is, but to get there you're going to have to do a fair bit of climbing, so just take this Electrogranum that's pretty much right beside these rocks, take it once, just to give you a bit of a boost, and then you can slowly but surely climb up this little jagged rock area. Now this is the trickiest part with doing these little jumps here, is that these rock faces can be quite tricky to latch onto. I'm trying not to use any cheesy characters like Zhongli's Pillar or Kazuha's Jump, just so everyone has a chance and knows how to do this, but you can very easily just jump onto that face there and climb up this very slowly. And when you get up here, you'll be greeted with the 17th Electroculus. Now, this next one's also very easy, just going a bit further from where we were for the previous Electroculus. We just want to take a detour over to this other island over here, and just above this Electrogranum, you'll be greeted with the 18th Electroculus. And now for this next one, it's on the same island as the previous Electroculus, but it's up on this little ridge area. And now this one's a bit tricky because you have to use this portal. Now you have to face it in this direction right here, and if it isn't lighting up for you when you face it in this direction with these little boots or booty looking things like kind of sticking out backwards, if it isn't lighting up that way, then you might have to go to the other island over there, this island over here, go to the very top, and you'll also find a portal slash gate thing there, where you might have to interact with it and make it face towards this one, so they kind of make a link. Once you do that, they should both light up, and to know if they're facing each other, this part has to be facing pretty much, this is the back of the portal, right, by the way, these little boot things are the back of the portal, and so you want to have these facing pretty much the opposite of where you want to go. And so once you've got them linked up, you'll be able to just step through it like this, and this should take you to the 19th Electroculus. And as you can see, it like come into a vision here. We're just going to float through it, and there is the other portal over there as well. And just for reference, this is what the portal should look like on the other side, just so you know how to do it. And now for the 20th Electroculus, you're going to want to come down to the southern easternmost island here, and you're going to want to travel to the very peak of this little ridge here, and you'll be greeted with this portal, and the Electroculus is on top of this rock. Now, if you don't have any movement characters like Venti, Kazuha, Zhongli, I haven't tested Geo Traveler just because it's a bit tedious to do, but if you have one of those characters, you might be able to very easily just kind of jump up and latch onto this side of the wall. But if you don't have any of those characters, don't stress, just go through this little portal here, and it's taking you in the wrong direction, but it will rise you up in the sky in just a second, and pretty much at its peak, you want to just jump out and glide towards the Electroculus. This is a weird way that they intended for you to get it, and I am kind of skeptical if I like it, but nevertheless, that's how you do it if you don't have any of those, height movement characters. You just jump up here like this, and you'll pick up the 20th Electroculus. And for the 21st, you just want to stay on that same island, and from that little ridge that we were at, you want to just travel downhill all the way to where you see those electro pylons. And as you can probably see from here, it's slowly coming into shot. The Electroculus is kind of up on these little wooden areas. You can fight the enemies if you want, you don't have to if you don't want to, but you just jump off here and you'll pick up the 21st Electroculus. And now for the 22nd Electroculus, you're going to want to travel to this island here. This is a weird order that I'm doing this in, but it's a bit easier actually when I think about it. But you want to travel to this island here, and this is also very simple. It's in this little shield here, as you can see. So you want to just come over and pick up this Electrogranum. Come over here, break through the shield, and just walk over to it, and you'll be able to pick up the 22nd Electroculus. Now, big disclaimer for these next few Electroculus here, guys. There's a big old disclaimer on you should do the quest to unlock the Thunder Manifestation. It will be a lot easier on you if you just do this quest beforehand, get this out of the way. So, just get this quest done before going further from this point in the video. Bookmark it somehow. You can, comment your time that you're at right now. But pretty much for the rest of the video, we're focusing around this center island, and having the Thundering Manifestation quest done and having it unlocked is pretty much a crucial thing. So with that being said, let's move on to the next Electroculuses. Now for the third Electroculus, you're going to travel to the waypoint right here up in the sky, and the Electroculus is literally right here on this island, right next to the waypoint. Oh, here on the edge right there, and that is the 23rd. And quickly, just to say, this island that we're on right now, that we just did the 23rd Electroculus on, will be the epicenter for a lot of our Electroculuses to get to from now on. And so with that being said, onto the 24th, it's right here. You want to jump off the southern side of this platform, just jump into the Oblivion and Abyss, and then once you have a bit of vision, hit glide. Now what we're looking to land on is this little floating rock here out in the open. So take your time gliding. We're in no rush to really get these. So once you're getting closer and closer to it, you want to just start lowering yourself, obviously. And as you come into shot, you'll be able to see the Electroculus there. And there you have it, guys. This little floating rock contains the 24th Electroculus. Back up to that island, we're going for the 25th Electroculus, and for this one, we're going to want to jump off the kind of eastern side of the island. That's the waypoint right there, so we're going to want to jump off this side here like this, kind of into the Abyss. And if we just have a look at my minimap marker there, that's pretty much what we're looking for at this point. And so we want to slowly, very slowly, because this one is just floating in the sky, we want to slowly descend onto or near the marker so we can see it before we, plummet to our ultimate demise. And we're getting closer and closer here now. Now we can see this big boulder right here, and we can, right here above it, we can see the Electroculus. So you want to just slowly edge yourself towards it, because this one is just floating in the middle of the sky and can be quite tedious to re-get. I missed my alignment there. And as you slowly approach it, obviously just flow through it, and you'll be able to pick up the 25th or 26th, I forgot what the number, Electroculus. And once again, for the next one, we're back up at this island here where the waypoint is. And for this one, we're jumping over towards the Thundering Manifestations Island. And we don't want to start the fight. We just want to avoid the center of it so we don't start the fight. And we're just going to circle around to the back side of his island, or the northern side, if you will. Just ignore that big pulsating deathness over there, and just get to the northern side of it. And as we slowly get to the edge, just look over and you'll be able to see the 26th Electroculus right there, just floating in the Abyss. We just want to slowly jump off, opening our glider just in time, and hopefully be able to pick this up and not miss it. And for this next one, we're working from the Thundering Manifestations platform here. We're just at the same point as the previous one, where we jumped off the boss platform. And for this one, we're just going to jump off and open our glider straight away, because we're going to this northernmost one here on the little mini-map. Now this one's quite high in the sky, so we want to just stay as high as possible. And as we slowly go further and further, we can see it there appearing in our vision. Now we just want to slowly drop down, not too much though, keeping our distance and just trying to align ourselves as best as possible. This one is a bit annoying to grab, and I think I've overshot it, but we can do a bit of a correction there. And there you have it, guys. That is the 27th Electroculus, I'm going to guess. I can't remember the number. Now, for the 28th Electroculus, you can either teleport to this waypoint where I am at, which is kind of like in the middle of the whole map, or you can continue to teleport from this one and just going to the back of the Thunder Manifestation, but we're going over to this waypoint right here. Now, if you're at the same waypoint as me, then you're just going to try to get to that rock over there, so we're just going to jump off and slowly glide over towards it. And the main feature you're looking out for is that portal appearing on the rock. Once you see that portal appear on the rock and a little purple little orb appear as well, you know you're going towards the right rock. And obviously, as we get closer towards the rock, we're going to drop ourselves lower so we can pick up the Electroculus as soon as we can. And there you have it. That is the 28th Electroculus. Now, for the 29th Electroculus, we're going to be on the Thundering Manifestations platform again, and we're actually going to interact with the Electrogranum here. And when we interact with it, we'll be summoned these little tether points that we can just press T on until we get to the next little platform with Electrogranum. Again, do the same thing until you get higher and higher and you get to this kind of final little gauntlet type area. Just take the Electrogranum just in case and just follow these little building platforms across. Once you get to the final one, at the very tip should be the Electroculus. And there you have it, that's the 29th. And now for the 30th Electroculus, we're going to go from the previous Electroculus's platform, which is still up in the sky here in the Great Beyond. And we're just going to jump off the point here. And we're just going to go until we see the ground, and then we're going to open up our... Actually, we're still quite away from the ground, so we're just going to fall for a fair bit of time. And where you want to get to is where you see these floating pillars here with a few of these electro puzzles on them, or you just see this little crevice in the ground. In the crevice should be an electrogranum with a few plants and whatnot, and right here on this little rock, in the most weird place ever, should be the 30th Electroculus. Now for these next 3 Electroculus, there's a bit of a puzzle that you're going to want to do. These next 3 are located in the little, or the big hole rather, in the middle of this kind of center area. There's a massive hole here, and you have to do a puzzle to drain the water that is filling here. And so to do that, you'll have to go over to this little kind of numpad puzzle here, and yours won't look like this when you first get here. Yours will be highlighted in blue, and some won't be highlighted. Now the pattern that you guys are going to want to kind of put in, have highlighted, so these are the only ones that are going to be blue for you, and I'm going to be talking in this perspective, so you're looking at it whilst facing this direction, is bottom right, middle, top left, top right. You light up only those, and the puzzle should solve itself. If it doesn't, then this game is kind of whack, but that worked for me. And so try that kind of combination of bottom right, middle, top left, top right, and then the puzzle should solve itself. Because this puzzle is very, very vague in terms of what you do. So just do that pattern and it should work for you. Once you've done that, you can interact with this button here and it will drain all the water. And after that, now we'll get into the next 3 Electroculuses. Now for the 31st Electroculus, you can see it floating there right in the open. It's very kind of small, but you can see it right there where my cursor is. And if you have a character that I've mentioned before, Venti, Kazuha, or something like that, you can probably get up there very easily. But if you don't have one of those, and you kind of want a very easy method, you can travel up to the floating island and just kind of drop down on it very safely and securely. Or if you want to do a power play, as I would like to call them, you can take this teleporter right here, which is right next to that puzzle. You take this teleporter and it will kind of hover you near the middle, very high up. And there's a certain point right about kind of now that you want to jump out and slowly but surely glide over towards this Electroculus. Not too hard to do, and you know, to be honest, quite a fun thing to do. And there you have it, that's the 31st Electroculus. Now we're obviously at the center of this arena. This is where the final few are. And if you're looking at the hole towards the northern side, down here where my cursor is circling, you'll be able to see a breakable rock wall. You're going to want to jump down to that ledge, and I've already broken the wall, so I'm not going to be able to break it again, but you'll break it, and the Electroculus should appear right there where the breakable wall was. Just pick it up, and there you go, that's the 32nd Electroculus. For the next Electroculus, we're starting from where the previous one was, and I'm just going to guide you guys through this very slowly, but for this next one, you have to do a lot of puzzles, and I don't quite have the footage for that. I do apologize very heavily for that. I didn't record myself doing the puzzle as it was moderately kind of in the moment, and kind of like I kind of thought of recording it halfway through, so I thought it was pointless. But you're going to drop down here where you see this red kind of pressable button, and you'll see a Sealy at the entrance of it. And now the whole gist of this puzzle is, when you press this button, the door will open, that of the color that you correspondingly pressed it with. So if you press a red button, a red door will open or close. And when you press a yellow button that's over there, a yellow door will open or close. But there can be multiple doors of the same color throughout the whole maze, and what you pretty much have to do is follow the Sealy throughout the whole puzzle. And there's multiple Sealys, I think about 4 different like routes that you have to follow. Once you guys do that puzzle, which will, you know, it takes a bit of thinking, a bit of time to do, but once you do that puzzle, you will be greeted with a room. Now, bear with me here as I try to re-find that room, which, you know, I don't exactly remember where I found it. So give me just a second here, guys. There's a specific room. Now, I'll be back with you guys when I find that room that you get to after you complete the puzzle. And when you get to the end of the puzzle and you've kind of solved the final door, you'll be greeted with this room right here. You'll have a button here that opens this final door here. And in the actual room where you find one of the chests, you'll be greeted with the Electroculus right here in the corner. Now, I do apologize again that I don't have the actual, solution for the puzzle. I don't show you guys everything that you have to do. I did do it off screen. Sorry about that, guys. But nevertheless, this is the location of the Electroculus. You do have to do that puzzle. Now jumping over for the final Electroculus that I was able to find. It's over here on the southwestern side of like the whole of Seirai Island. Over here, you want to go to the peak of this kind of bottommost kind of purplish mountain. You want to pick up this Electrogranum if you haven't already disabled the bubble down here. And you want to just run towards this little rock. There will be a bubble here normally. But you just want to get that Electrogranum just in case. And above it, obviously, is that final Electroculus, which I can't seem to actually jump up and get. Just give me one moment here. Nope. Okay, please. And there you go. There's that final Electroculus that I was able to find. Now I'm just going to go over to the one that is marked on the interactive map, but I just wasn't able to actually figure out how to get, or even if it's still there, or at all there. Now, jumping over here to the one Electroculus that's marked, but I just can't find or figure out, like, anything to do with it. And it's located here on this main island, and it's kind of in this general area. Now, I'm not sure if there's a certain quest that you have to do, a certain puzzle. I'm very unsure of what I have to do. I have looked into the sky, and there's... Well, so, I've just been a fool. I made a fool of myself. I've just looked into the sky, and it's right up there, right, like, real. You see that purple dot? You see that purple dot right there? That's the Electroculus. Alright, let's go. I'm going to show you guys how to get that right now. Okay, this is very much unscripted. I do apologize, everyone. But let's go up there and try to get that Electroculus. Now, for this final Electroculus that I just discovered, honestly, I feel so bad that I didn't get it at the start. But what we're going to do is, we're going to travel to the boss platform for the manifestation. We're going to travel to the highest point that we can, which... Okay, we're going to travel to the highest point that we can here. That was weird. And so we're going to click here. We're going to keep on going up and up and up. And we're just going to just glide over to here. Now, make sure to do this with maximum energy or maximum stamina. Don't do this without max stamina. And we're going to be gliding in the northwest northerly direction. I'm going to put a marker just in case. It's just so I know where to go. Hit navigate. Should appear. And we're just going to travel in this direction. So I'm going to put it in a 2x or a 3x speed, just so you guys don't have to sit here for about 2 minutes. So let's get into that, eh? Okay, so I can see it now, guys. We're going to get out of 2x or 3x, whatever x I put it in. I can see the Electroculus, and once you see it, you want to slowly glide over to it. Now, I do suggest you put on Amber onto the team so you have a bit more stamina, but you want to slowly drop down towards it because this takes a while to do. And as you slowly get towards it, just do a few checks just to make sure you get it. But there you have it. That's the final Electroculus of Seirai Island. And I do apologize that I did say there wasn't one or something like that. I do apologize. It's just very difficult to find because it was pretty much in the stratosphere. But there you go. Whew. Done. And there you have, that's the full Seirai Electroculus guide locations. Everything to do with all the locations of the Electroculus on Seirai Island. Now, again, I do apologize about not finding that final one, having discovered it in the video. Do apologize on that. And also with some of the puzzles, not having exact guides on a lot of them. I do apologize about that. But, none of them are extremely difficult to the point that, it's impossible. But other than that, I hope you guys did enjoy, and I hope you guys did follow along and get all the Electroculuses. If you did, and if you liked the video, hit that like button. And if you enjoy guide type content from me, your host, Venessence, then obviously hit that subscribe button. And also stay tuned for more Genshin Impact 2.1 content. I'll be putting up boss guides, character guides, and any other guide on anything else collectible when I find it. Thank you all so much for watching. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.